So spoilers ahead for episodes 5 and 6. You've been warned. Right, we've got a lot to unpack, from the villain bar, Flambae's meltdown, to the Proto Pulse explosion, and the brutal cargo ship finale. The latest 2 episodes clarify 2 major things. 1, yes, I was wrong about Shroud.
You're a fucking disappointment.
Or was I? And Visi, we don't think she's the spy anymore. And that raises the question, who is? We're going to go through the spy question in this video today, and then the Shroud question is going to be out in a video later on today. Both should be linked to each other. Just look out for the links in the description or up top throughout this video if you want to jump to the other one. So I'm just going to recap the last 2 episodes and what information we got from them and what that means for the Z team. Basically, there's definitely a spy, in my opinion anyway. So, big question from the latest 2 episodes. How did Shroud's crew, the Red Ring, know exactly where to strike the same night the Z team found out, despite the fact that this pulse has been going around for weeks, months, between various villains, and then suddenly the same night the Z team find out, Red Ring's right there? So, stay tuned and we'll explore that. And if you're in the 99%, yes, 99% of people not subscribed, think about hitting the button if you're enjoying the content. You can always easily just hit it again. So let's go with the recap. From after our shift, we go to the Sardines bar. Red Ring tries to kidnap Invisigal and state, people want to speak to her.
There's some people that want to talk to you, Invisigal.
Robert is in flashbacks during his prime, going full Mecha Man mode, slicing off 2 of Flambae's fingers. And from there, at the end of this episode, we face the choice to reveal that we're Mecha Man or keep the lie going. Now, if you reveal yourself, it changes everything at the start of the next episode. Flambae isn't in the next 2 shifts. The team's dynamic shifts a wee bit, and it directly sets up the Proto Pulse test, where the explosion happens in front of the whole team. No matter what decision you make, though, it does get revealed that you're Mecha Man by the end of episode 6 at the housewarming party, where Chase just reveals it to everyone, which likely means that Flambae will be out of shifts in episode 7 if you chose that route. Now, after the pulse test fails spectacularly, leaving Robert in hospital and Royd crushed by guilt, we get one of the game's best character moments. The whole Z team throwing a surprise housewarming party, trying to lift everyone's spirits, I guess, but mainly Robert's. And this is where a bombshell drops. Royd brings the full dispatcher computer with him and projects a map onto the wall, showing where the real Astral Pulse is. Now, they tracked it by analysing the explosion energy signature from the Proto Pulse test at the start of this episode, and they pinpoint it to a cargo ship, which is bombarded with various defences and securities. Invisigal immediately wants to go. I opted to stay for a plan instead of going straight away. Blonde Blazer, no matter which option you go with, says no, and then Chase, being the voice of authority, chimes in.
She said no. You understand that word, or has it got too many syllables for you?
Why don't you go walk your ass around a mall, Grandpa? Heroes are talking.
You are no fucking hero.
Whoa, hey!
She named you Invisigal, you named yourself Invisible, and you had it right.
Chase, you're drunk. You need to stop talking.
You want to get people hurt, get people killed, then you need to go back to the team where you belong.
Chase, that's enough.
This is crazy.
She thinks she's like you, but she's not. Robert doesn't need to keep going out there with no powers, putting his life on the line to make up for assholes like you. He doesn't need to be Mecha Man to be a hero. You playing them, you playing yourself. You think you're invisible, but I fucking see you.
You don't know anything about me.
I know you're a liar, criminal. I know you're fucking dangerous. What else do I need to know? There. Now I know you're a coward.
Oh my god.
Now, it's harsh, but it's the moment that kind of defines the rest of this episode, and both of them in this frame. Invisigal's very much a loner, doesn't feel like part of a team, although she's beginning to, and she wants to help Robert, even if she's not your romantic partner in this. And Chase very much wants to protect Robert and sees her as a risk. Now, Chase stays around to apologise, and when we catch up, Robert notices a warning on the computer. Visi's went off on her own. She's on the cargo ship fighting almost all of Red Ring by herself, and she drops the line, just catching up with some old friends.
Feel free to take your time. Just catching up with some old friends.
Now don't worry, we're going to get into that. She's in over her head. We have to help her out at various points with hacking. Shroud ends up trapping her using her main weakness, which is gas canisters, because she's got asthma. So she can't breathe, she's suffocating, and that's when we get Chase the same man that she just punched for insulting her, runs in to save her and I guess Robert from losing someone else and collapses at the end. I don't think Chase is dead. I think if he isn't Shroud, which I'm not saying that he definitely isn't because speedsters are overpowered if you know anything about them, but if he isn't Shroud, I think he's likely just had a heart failure and he's probably going to be in the hospital over the next episode or two. And also if you think about it, Chase goes 50 times faster than the average person but also ages 50 times faster. That's the drawback of his power. I think maybe he was running in this scene for, let's say he was running for an hour, which he wasn't. That would be 2 days, 2 hours. So I think he was more or less running for 2 minutes in this. I do think it's probably just a heart attack he suffered, but also I don't think running for that short amount of time would cause him to die.
Yes, science!
So with this new information, we have 3 glaring questions. What involvement did Visi have with Red Ring? I don't think she's the spy anymore, but based on all the information and everyone in Red Ring knowing her on site, I think it's pretty safe to say that she's ex-Red Ring. And also this joke kind of writes itself, but I think her ex is toxic as well. So second question, who is the spy? Shroud conveniently knows where the pulse is the same night the whole team finds out, and I think Visi, in the clear now, it's likely one of a few suspects, which we'll go through in a second. And the last question is, who's Shroud? Is it just Elliot Connors? Could he still be Shroud? Or could it be a very popular theory, which is Robert's father? So if you want to know more on that, the link should be in the top right if you want to jump to that video. So who is the spy? Well, if we look at the party, Prism takes a video here of Chase's argument with Visi, and the map is in the background. And Visi, later on in the episode, jokes about there being a supervillain group chat. I actually think that might be what it is. I think due to another commentator on another video pointed this out, the spy might be whoever you cut, Sonar or Coop, and they are still in a work group chat, they've not been kicked out, and they're relaying information to Red Ring. And Prism, being the social media presence that she is, likely shares stuff everywhere. So she's taken this video, she shared it on a group chat, that's how they're getting their information. Now, if we go by process of elimination, I think the only other likely suspects are these, but I'm leaning towards who you cut, and it being the silly group chat, or Blonde Blazer. Her power is like a super augment. It's glowing red, just like Shroud's, and it's the only one that we've seen that sort of is for good. But it is strange that it's red, that her look looks like Elliot Connors when she's not got the amulet on. I think it's likely, but then why would she be doing it? Well, I'm going to go into this in my Shroud video, but based on the mugshot and based on the comic book, Elliot Connors does not look like Shroud from the comics. I think Elliot Connors might be Blonde Blazer's dad, and he is not Shroud, but I'll go into that in the other video. So I think they might be holding her father's life over her, and that's why she's a spy. So do you guys have any other spy theories? Let me know below, and I'll catch you in the Shroud video.